vegetables, I couldn't do the hoovering, I couldn't dress myself with clothes with buttons. Some days it was so bad that I couldn't wash my hair, I couldn't lift my arm up. Signed off. I had to move back in with my mum, back to my childhood bedroom in Cornwall, because there was nothing that I could do. I couldn't hold a book to read. I couldn't go out. I couldn't sit still to watch TV. Nothing, because the pain is just, it becomes part of you. It envelops you in itself.
In terms of how you explain it to somebody, I mean, your mum, was she totally sympathetic?
She was, yeah. Other people were less so, but she believed me. Because, of course, everyone knows what pain is. Everyone's stubbed their toe. Everyone has had a headache in their lives. So it's quite difficult when it's invisible as well for someone to understand, no, this is my pain the whole time. This is the levels that I live with. And I've had conversations with people, with a cousin at a family event, when he said, oh, I've been seeing, on Facebook how you're ill. You can't have pain now, though. And I said, oh, no, it's permanent. I'm permanently in this level of pain. And he said, no, but you're talking to me and you're eating a sausage roll. Like, how can you be in pain? But people don't understand when it's invisible that it's there, it's part of you, and you just have to deal with it.
So were you taking a lot of prescription drugs to try and combat this pain, or?
Not so much. So for the first 2 years, I really went down the normal route, the doctor's route, and I followed all the instructions. So I tried lots of painkillers, everything that was offered me, I took. Luckily for me, because you can get addicted or you can get nasty side effects from painkillers, my body reacted so wildly to everything that I was put on that I was never on them long enough to cause problems, which looking back, I'm actually really grateful for.
And they clearly didn't solve the problem either.
No, I mean, there's something called the 30 rule, which is that painkillers will work in 30% of patients with chronic pain, and they will reduce the pain only by 30%. So it's actually really bad odds that you're dealing with, and they all come with these horrible ramifications as well in the shape of side effects. So I didn't want that. I did a pain management course. They do psychotherapy, cognitive behavioural therapy, because the way that the medical establishment treats it at the moment is that they say there's no cure for chronic pain. Chronic pain is in your head. It's effectively when your alarm system that's reporting to your brain that you've had an injury or that there's something wrong, it gets locked in the on position. And so there's no injury there to cure. So my pain was a result of my alarm system still being on, and then my brain kind of rewiring itself, overriding its old pathways and saying this is your new normal. So it's very difficult to treat something like that.
So what made you go on your travels to try and find a cure?
Well, I was in a very, very dark place at the end of 2 years. I didn't want to carry on anymore. And I had a friend in LA who knew what a state I was in, what a time I was having, and he said, he's English, and he said, I want to come home, why don't you come and house sit for 3 weeks, look after my cat. So I decided I would go as a holiday just to see if I could get myself out of this dark space that I was in. Decided when I got off the plane I was feeling so ill that I needed a massage. I just googled the nearest massage therapist, ended up with this guy, so LA, called Kevin, who believes in angels, and he thinks that angels guide his massage.
Okay.
So I thought, this is ridiculous, but at least he probably won't hurt me. He'll be nice and gentle.
Absolutely.
Went in this little cupboard that he had in the back of a nail salon in North Hollywood, and I walked out 90 minutes later and I was feeling better than I had in 2 years. I wasn't pain-free, but my levels were massively reduced, and I felt like there was a way forward for the first time, because my doctors had said, told me, you won't be going back to work, you need to accept your life in the tiny space that it is now.
Julia.
Yeah, it was horrendous. And I felt like he opened the door, whether it was just a really good massage or whether it was angels, whatever it was, it gave me hope.
So where did you go from there? Did you go back to Kevin?
I spent 3 weeks in LA and I saw Kevin 6 times.
Yeah.
By the end of those 6 times, I was working part-time. I could manage a couple of hours a day, spread throughout the day. I was walking around a little bit. I was still in pain. I would still have to take breaks every 15-20 minutes. But the impact was just enormous. It was like I felt I'd been just given my life back.
Do you feel the weather had any influence on it, or was it purely that massage that was getting you?
It was the massage. I'd been to hot places before because I was a travel journalist in my previous life, so I still had contacts. So I'd still said, okay, I'll go to this wellness retreat in Cyprus or whatever. I think it was probably to do with the physical distance being from home as well, that I could really detach myself. Living in someone else's life, their house, you know, kind of taking on their life really helped. But equally, he did something, whatever it was. He definitely did something.
So where did you go from there? Because you've tried all manner of things, haven't you? Can you tell us a bit about have you tried medical marijuana?
I have, yeah.
And even voodoo?
Yes. Oh. So what I did after Kevin is I thought, if I had decided that my pain was in my head, it was all about the mind-body connection, and the patient-doctor relationship in the NHS wasn't working for me. So because I'd been used to travelling around for the rest of my life before, I decided that I would look at different cultures and see how they use the mind-body connection to help their patients. So there's a very eminent Harvard professor, for example, Herbert Benson, who says that traditional healer in Zimbabwe will have a better understanding of patient psychology than a Western doctor. So it was kind of on that basis that I was doing things. So I was going to places to look at treatments that are on the fringes of medicine, like medical marijuana, like acupuncture in China, things like that. But I was more concentrating on trying to find someone who I thought could basically psych me out of my pain. So Haiti, I thought they're the masters of, you know, the nocebo effect, which is the opposite of the placebo effect. They can kind of hex people into thinking that they're zombies or dying. So I'll go there. So I went there.
Brave.
It was a beautiful, beautiful country. I loved it. Voodoo was unlike everything that we're told that we understand over here. It's a really fascinating way of life. But I did have a scary exorcism late at night by myself in a little room. And where I had a black cat demon taken from my neck, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. And I was pain-free for 48 hours afterwards.
Oh, now this is interesting. My goodness. And what do you think had the best effect on you?
That was interesting, and I would say South Africa was also really interesting, because I saw there, again, I'd mostly seen men, but this was a 26-year-old woman who told me she felt my pain. She connected with me when I had to fast to do a ritual. She fasted with me. She got me to bathe in a chicken's blood and guts and my own vomit. Herbs and regurgitate. And then it was even worse because I couldn't have a bath for 24 hours.
Oh, Julia.
That's how desperate people in pain are. That's the thing. It didn't make me completely better, but I was significantly better for 5 days. So again, I was thinking,
making an improvement.
Is there something going on with my ancestors, which is her interpretation, or is it something going on in my brain that it's dampening down something, that it's shocking me out of the connections? So that was really interesting.
I am the same.
And then the final kind of breakthrough was in Brazil, where I went to see this crazy, supposedly faith healer called John of God, which should be the first warning sign. Oprah Winfrey loves him. He's supposed to have 8 cars, the 2 more warning signs. He does things, he treats people, they say that he can treat anything, and he does it by scraping your eyes with a knife, or he'll ram a medical clamp up your nose.
What?
Yeah, it's quite scary stuff. And for me, for who had been exorcised and slaughtered chickens and bathed in their blood, I was like, no, I'm not. No, it's the one thing I said I wasn't.
Oh, you weren't going to do it.
I got my so yeah, I didn't do that, but what I did do is what they call a spiritual surgery, where you just kind of sit and meditate and he prays over you. And I did that, and I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I went with Kevin, actually. Kevin is a follower of his. You have to wear white because the angels can